All right. Hello, hello. Okay, so we'll give it a few minutes. I don't know if my friendly neighborhood moderator is in here. However, Rogue, if you are listening, if you drop things in the Discord to let them know I'm getting going. I did not think about it. Okay, there we go. That's right. And let's see if I can get it to there. Okay, huzzah! There we go. All right. So it's funny, this is the first time I've done this on YouTube, but this is not, this is not the first time that I've done the streaming, so I kind of know what I'm doing and I kind of don't. Usually I'll get on and do a bunch of readings, but some of the point of this is to talk about, I beat you to the Discord chat 20 minutes ago. Warning, this stream something. This stream's bitrate is less than the recommended bitrate. It look okay on your end, Rogue? Because I can always mess with it later. But it seems to be working out all right. Okay, well then it can yell at me later. I'm sure there's a setting I didn't mess with that it wants me to use. Let me see here. Stream stat. Oh, I bet I know where that setting is. No worries. I bet I know where that setting is. Okay. So, I'm not going to worry about it for now. So it's funny, I'm spoiled because everywhere else, I get people that'll swing by. Right? It's been a while since I've done new streams. So, a little bit of background about me. My name is Kai. I have been doing some form of magical practice or another for, let me see, I started when I was 14. I'm 40 now, so what is that, 26 years? And over the past about 3 years, I've been doing readings and consultation mostly online. I started on Reddit. I started on Reddit, and I've recently been doing things on other streaming platforms, and I'm branching out into creating some stuff on here. so far I've really liked the doing the shorts on here, and I've really liked doing having the ability to make some of the longer videos, even if I've been slow about it. YouTube has a tendency to like higher production values than I'm used to, so it's like I gotta teach myself how to do it. Right. But anyway, as a reader, I tend to prefer reading playing cards over something like tarot. And the reason for that is that for me, the playing cards, and I don't know if it's just me, tend to be a lot more direct. When you read tarot, you get this psychological approach to everything, which is useful in and of itself, but it's not always like what you're looking for. The playing cards tend to be a little more practical and direct for me. And then oracle decks tend to be, for me, very spiritual, but of course each one is radically different. But they tend to relate more to the spiritual world then. So on most streams I'll keep playing cards around. I have a tendency to shuffle those as a nervous habit. I've got this deck here is my tarot deck. And then while this one is technically a tarot deck, it's based on the 72 Demons of the Goetia. And I tend to read it more like an oracle deck. I tend to read it with that kind of stuff in mind. And so it does make it acts more like an oracle deck for me. So I'll admit to being a little all over the place when it comes to existing videos, and I've got some really good stuff on there, but what I haven't done is kind of start at one end and work my way through everything, right? So for people kind of looking at this, I'm a relatively soft polytheist. I'm a hermeticist first, and everything else kind of grows out from there. So what I mean by that is that it's like there's a divine source for all the things, and then your mind creates kind of individual spirits to work with. And I think it's a little more complicated than that. Right. You know, a really soft polytheist ultimately ends up being almost a monotheist. Right. And I absolutely think that there are different currents of energy or archetypes that are or become somewhat independent, but the ultimate interface between you and any of those exists in your mind. And that doesn't make it any less real. I like Ron Duquette's thought on this. It's all in your head. You just have no idea how big your head is. Right. Because Hermeticism kind of teaches that that everything is a function of the mind. So just because something has an apparent external reality doesn't mean it's not also a part of your mind. And the argument there would be, an argument against that would be, well, but then you'd have more control. But there are portions of things you don't argue over your mind that you don't have control over. So that is what it is. Now, when you break it down, I tend to look or approach things fairly low magic. I like my herbs. I like my sigils. You know, these are things that I like. But all of that is because each one of these things kind of holds a placeholder for visualization. When we talk magic, magic is a language of symbols. Right, so your symbolism and your symbols, my issue with manifestation culture is that manifesting something requires you to hold some very complex visualizations, and often several of them at the same time. And if you can break some of these things down and create something like a shortcut, then that's useful. And weirdly enough, for as soft of a polytheist as I am, I tend to be fairly spirit-centered. Everything's got a spirit. You can look at me as an animist because external reality of or not, a lot of these spirits, that kind of spiritual approach, addressing everything as if, as its own spirit, is one, a really easy, simple way to work, and two, allows these things to have a level of independence. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right, well, I know how YouTube can be, and I really just wanted to try this out a little bit. Make sure everything was working, etc., etc. I've got a little bit of tinkering with settings and the like to do. But I think this was a good kind of first intro to myself. And I'll plan on doing another couple of really short, small lives as we go along. But for now, I happen to have scheduled things on the day we're doing Mother's Day celebrations. So I probably ought to get around and get to making sure all of that gets started. So, have a good day, everybody, and we will see you around the campfire next time.